This is a Ulanzi AM18 wireless lavalier microphone system, and it's probably one of the most budget-friendly 2.4 GHz digital wireless transmission mic that is under $100. In fact, it is currently under $90 on Ulanzi's website. The AM18 features not one but two transmitter units along with a touchscreen receiver unit, capable of reaching up to 100 meters of transmission signal. You have mono and stereo recording capability. Both the transmitters support internal recording up to 14 hours of recording time. It also has built-in noise reduction feature, comes with a twist-lock clip-on dead cat for reducing wind noise, supports universal 3.5mm interface. It even comes included with various interfaces like Apple's Lightning interface as well as USB Type-C. You can even use this wireless microphone system with your Windows or Mac machine as a wireless microphone for your Zoom calls. That being said, if that's what you're looking for in a wireless microphone system, this will be the cheapest entry point that doesn't break your bank. Stick around as we dive a little deeper in everything there is to know about the Ulanzi AM18 wireless microphones. This is going to be a long video. Here are the list of topics that we'll be discussing today. Sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Let's dive right in. Starting with the unboxing, we will quickly scan through the things that comes included inside the box. Since I've already made a full unboxing video, if you are interested, feel free to check out that video, which will be linked in the description box down below or in the card above. Now, inside this package, we have an instruction manual, the wireless charging case, and a bunch of accessories. We have a gasket fixtures for different cold shoe openings in regards to the thickness of different camera systems, a carrying pouch, a USB Type-A to USB-C cable, a 3.5mm TRS to TRS cable, a USB-C to USB-C cable, a 3.5mm TRS to Lightning cable, and two wind muff attachments for the wireless transmitter. Now, inside the wireless charging case, we have two transmitter units as well as the receiver unit, both nicely sitting inside the case. And that's basically everything about the things that are included in this unboxing. Now, I want to very quickly touch on the size and dimensions of this transmitter and receiver units as well as the charging case. Here are the dimensions of each of them. I've also put together a comparison chart with some existing wireless microphone system such as the DJI Mic 2 as well as the Rode Wireless Go 2. The Ulanzi AM18 appears to be the lightest among all, and the dimensions is right in the middle. All in all, it is rather compact and lightweight in my opinion. Before diving into the features, I want to talk about the build quality of this entire thing. Everything here is made from ABS plastic, from the transmitter unit to the receiver unit and the charging case as well. The opening and closing of the charging case is very similar to opening your AirPods. You flip it up open, you take out the transmitting unit and receiving unit, and you close the case, which all feels pretty natural. That's pretty much it about the build quality. Now let's talk about all of the features the UMic AM18 wireless mic has to offer. Here is a summary of the AM18 wireless microphone system specification and features. For those of you who care about the numbers, here are the specs of both the transmitter and receiving unit. Since I'm not a professional audio geek, all I care about is three things: sampling rate, transmission distance, and battery life. The AM18 is a 16-bit audio recorder that is able to record up to 100 meters in plain sight, and you can record up to 6 hours of use per session. But the bonus part is the transmitter unit comes with internal recording that goes all the way up to 14 hours of use time. The Ulanzi AM18 comes with 3 different recording modes, starting from stereo mode or dual channel recording, where you are able to record stereo channel audio, presumably during an interview where you would like to separately control the volume of both the left and right channel. Then we have mono recording if you would like to record only one audio track. And lastly, the safety track mode where it prevents audio spike, something like an auto mode for audio recording. Next, the Ulanzi AM18 also features onboard recording with an internal storage of 8GB, capable of storing up to 14 hours of backup recording. This means you can either record using the transmitter internally, connected to the receiver, or recording both simultaneously. This means that the internal recording will serve as a backup copy. The AM18 also features multi-level gain adjustments to fine-tune your microphone sensitivity up to ±10 decibels. You can also equip the wind muff attachment by twisting them on the transmitter units, which is also known as dead cat for reducing wind noise. The battery life on the transmitter unit of the AM18 is rated at around 300 mAh, which is able to operate up to 14 hours on a single charge. The receiver unit on the other hand holds the same 300 mAh charge, but it's only able to go up to 6 hours. And with the charging case, you are able to go up to a total of 20 hours, where the built-in battery of the wireless case sits at around 2000 mAh, and the case charges via USB Type-C. Now, with the techie spec and features out of the way, let's dive a little deeper about how to set this thing up for the first time. talk about both the transmitter and receiver unit in details. Now, let's take a look at setting this up for the very first time. As you open up the case, you will notice that all of these indication LED lights up. So we will first remove the receiver unit, that is this right here with the LED screen. Connect the TRS to TRS cable from the receiver's TRS port into the camera's TRS microphone port. On the receiver unit, it will be indicated by this logo on the left hand side of the receiving unit. Attach this onto your camera's hot shoe mount like such. Next, remove the transmitter unit from the case and it should already be paired with the receiving unit. Clip this onto your shirt and you are good to go. The transmitter unit should be wirelessly transmitting audio signal into your camera. Now you have wireless audio where you can get clean audio without standing in front of your camera or facing the camera when recording. Now if you are not using a camera and you would like to connect this to your phone or Android phone, just use the cables included like the Lightning to 3.5mm jack or the USB-C to USB-C cable, which I will show you in the later section of the video. Now if you are overwhelmed with all of the buttons and icons around both the transmitter and receiving unit, don't worry, we'll go through all of them in the next section. Starting from the transmitter unit. As you can see, the Ulanzi wording is printed on the bottom half of the transmitter. There are 4 icons displayed right here. First indicator is the charging status indication. It lights up green when it's fully charged. The second icon is the connection status indicator. There are 3 conditions to look out for. If it has a solid color, it means that it is currently connected to the receiver unit and it is paired and ready to go. If it is blinking at a slow rate, it means that the device is currently on standby mode, which means that it is not connected to the receiver unit. If it is blinking at a faster rate, it means that the transmitter unit is currently in pairing mode. The third icon is the microphone mute status indication. The last icon on the right is the onboard recording status indication. Only if you are recording internally, the LED will turn red indicating that it is recording. And that's a quick summary on the icons indication. Now towards the buttons on the transmitter unit, starting from the top side of the transmitter, there is the locking mechanism to attach the wind muff for wind noise reduction. And on the right side is the 3.5mm jack for your lavalier microphone, which is indicated by this icon right here. Now moving on to the left side of the transmitter, there are 3 buttons, starting from the on and off switch that is located all the way on the top. There are 2 things that you can do with it: long press to on or off the device, or triple tap to enter pairing mode with the receiving unit. Onto the next 2 buttons. The button with the plus indicator is for increasing the mic sensitivity by 1 decibel, and the minus sign is for decreasing the levels by 1 decibel. Now the volume level defaults at 0 decibel and you are able to adjust up to plus minus 10 decibel, and the volume level will only show up on the receiving unit and there is no way to tell what level you are currently on unless if you check it from the receiving unit. Towards the right side of the transmitter unit, there are 2 things to note. The top button is to start and stop the onboard internal recording. Single click and the 4th icon should lit up red as mentioned earlier in the video. And below it is the USB Type-C port. Now this USB Type-C does a couple of things. It delivers power to the transmitter device as well as transfers data across the USB cable. When you plug in your transmitter unit to your PC via USB-C cable, it will show up as a disk with your internal recording files. You can access this like a USB drive to copy and paste the audio files onto your PC and you're pretty much all set. Now behind the transmitter unit is a clamp for you to mount the transmitter on various surfaces like your coat, jacket, t-shirt, chopsticks, or anything that fits inside the clamp. There is also a mesh texture in the upper side of the clamp for a better grip, and located at the bottom of the device is the magnetic connection pins that aligns with the insides of the charging case. And that's pretty much everything about the transmitter unit. Now let's take a look at the receiving unit. It features a 1-inch touchscreen panel that acts like a control center. Before we dive into the menu settings, let's quickly take a look at all the buttons that are around the receiver unit, starting with these 2 beside the touchscreen. These 2 buttons on the left and right is a mute and unmute button for the left and right channel. Just click once to mute and another click to unmute. You immediately notice the mute symbol coming on and off like such. These will also be indicated on the transmitter unit with the 3rd icon blinking like such. Now towards the left side of the receiver unit, there are 2 3.5mm ports, and the one on the bottom is the TRS port that we have used earlier for the TRS to TRS connection from the receiver unit to your camera. The one on top is for monitoring audio levels directly from the receiver unit itself. Now on the right hand side all the way to the top is a lock button, which is a safety feature for disabling the touchscreen for any accidental bump. As you click it, it will be indicated that the screen is locked like such, and then the icon will appear on the screen like such. Single click it again and your touchscreen panel will resume back to normal. Next is the USB-C port where you can connect the receiver unit into your Mac, PC or Android phone or iPad to have a wireless microphone setup for your Zoom calls. Just plug this in via Type-C and it will appear as a Ulanzi microphone, where you can then select it as a microphone input, and it is that simple. Also, it also charges the receiving unit at the same time. Now onto the screen icon and navigating through the entire menu system. As you can see, with only the receiver unit out of the case, the transmitter units are already paired and ready to go, as indicated by the signal icons on the top left corner. The 1 indicates the left transmitter unit and the 2 for the right transmitter unit. Now the battery indication on the receiving unit is on the top right hand side, and this icon is to indicate which recording mode that you are currently on. You have stereo and mono recording, which will be indicated by S or M, or a M that has a shield for safety track audio. Now the icons below this are pretty straightforward. You have your volume indicator levels for monitoring the audio levels of the transmitter units, the battery life indicator, and this 0 is the decibel levels that is currently set on the transmitter unit. As you increase it from the transmitter unit directly, it will be reflected right here. Now, navigating through the receiver unit via touch controls, there are really just 5 gestures: tapping, swiping up, down, left, and right. As you would have guessed it, swiping downward pulls down the menu system. Left and right goes through the menus, and swiping up is like a return key to the previous page. Now let's go through the entire menu system, starting from the recording mode menu. As you tap into it, you get to select from 3 modes as we have just discussed: mono, stereo, and safety track. Tap on one of these 3 icons to select either one. Swiping up again brings you back to the home menu, where the recording mode is indicated on the top right corner, right beside the battery indicator. Now the second icon on the menu is the volume levels used for monitoring audio from the receiver unit. If you plug in your headphones on the bottom left 3.5mm jack on the receiver unit, this menu is where you adjust the volume of your playback sound. Now take note that there is a 24 millisecond playback delay when monitoring audio. It isn't as pleasant due to the delay, but it gives a feedback check on your microphone levels at the time. Next on the menu, swiping left, we have the gain controls, which is essentially the same as adjusting it on the transmitter unit itself. You get to quickly adjust TX1 and TX2 input levels at a breeze. Simply slide the dial left to decrease and right to increase the gain level. Now the last menu is the settings menu. We have brightness control, language selections either English or Chinese, time settings, a reset function, and a general info tab for firmware versions of both the transmitter and receiver unit. And that's everything about the receiver unit. Now, if you are not planning to use this with a camera, you can certainly connect the AM18 to an iPhone using the 3.5mm to lightning connector. With the 3.5mm connector inserted to the receiver end and the lightning cable to the iPhone, just like that without any configurations, the default microphone input will be from the transmitter unit itself. So we have went about all there is to know about setting up and adjusting the settings on the UMic AM18 microphone. Next, we'll jump straight into a real-world test on the 100-meter transmission field to see if it really holds up to its claim, and at the same time give you guys some audio samples to see if this microphone is what you are looking for. Alright, so we will start the AM18 wireless transmission test. I have this turned on in my internal recording. As I can check, I think all the settings are at 0 decibels based on the whatever that I'm seeing from the receiver. So I'll be doing a 50-meter mark sound test as well as 100-meter mark. I'm going to be trying to record both facing the receiver as well as with my back against the receiver, and then we will do a 100-meter onto the left and right as well. So let's begin around the 50-meter mark. So I'll just stand here. Sound test 1, 2, 3. Sound test 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. Sound check 1, 2, 3. This is facing the camera. I'm going to turn around and hope you guys can hear me as well. Sound test 1, 2, 3. Sound test 1, 2, 3. Sound test 1, 2, 3. Sound test 1, 2. I'm not talking exceptionally loud, I'm just talking at my normal voice. So we will continue down the 60-meter mark. 60 meter, yeah, 60 meters sounds about right. 70 meters. I'm just doing spirals just to see if there's any interference from the microphone that has potential of, getting interrupted. So this is about the 70 to 80 meter mark at the moment, and we will keep going down. So this should be around 80 to 90 meters at the moment, and I think somewhere about here would be the 100-meter mark. So facing the camera, sound test 1, 2, 3, sound test 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna be facing away from the camera doing a sound test 1, 2, 3, sound test 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna try one more just to get out of line of sight towards the left and right. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm tending all a little bit left to right of the frame. Probably gonna say maybe sound test 1, 2, 3. Sound 2, 3. Okay, gonna walk back into the frame. I'm at the 100-meter mark. Gonna walk back to the camera, and yeah, hopefully you guys can hear. And that's about it for the transmission test. Hope you guys can hear half the things that I'm saying. I'll catch you back in the studio. Bye. And here's a bonus clip on an airplane. Sound test from an aeroplane. Yeah, let me know if you guys can actually hear whatever the hell I'm saying. So that's a very short test. Now, my personal experience using this microphone system, I would say for beginners it is an absolute steal dipping your toes into wireless microphone systems for under $100. The audio is crisp and clear. You get to use internal recording for whenever you want to record a voiceover. Just slap the dead cat on and hit record and you are good to go. I've since used the AM18 for most of my headshot talks, as well as for the unboxing sessions where I clip the AM18 microphone off my iWatch to get close to the ASMR unboxing experience, as well as placing the other microphone on the desk for more audio pickup point. However, the few down things that I have to say is the hassle of equipping the dead cat on and off the transmitter unit each time you want to use them, as well as the TRS to TRS cable from the receiver unit to the camera. If only storing these extra accessories were a tad bit easier, it would be the best bang for your buck microphone system. That being said, the Ulanzi AM18 is a fantastic piece of equipment that for those of you who want to try out wireless microphone system, I would highly recommend you guys to test this one out. And that is all I have for you in this video. I hope you have found this video insightful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Ken and I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay safe, peace out, and bye bye.